This is a FEMA project for culverts and roads for the site inspection reports. Now, some of you need to do that. And so that's what this is all about. Why does this matter? Because disasters are going to happen. It's not if, it's when. And as long as you front load all of this information into your GIS, then when a disaster happens, you maybe need a couple little tweaks, but you don't have to build this whole thing immediately. Here's some categories of all the different disasters that we've come up with. I'm sure there's more, but this is just a good start. And then figuring out what disasters affect your area. This is a deliverable. Now, this is a FEMA site inspection report. And those of you who get funding from FEMA, you've probably done this before. Maybe you've done it manually, but I'm going to show you the secrets. If you're an approved vendor, this is the deliverable that you need to send to FEMA in order to get paid for your work. This is a site inspection report. We call it an SIR. And notice all the orange areas. These are all the things that need to happen on this report. I want you to notice all the lat longs that you see. On page 2, there's a 200-foot section that must include all the damaged components in that area. This sounds like a nested repeat to me. How about you? But wait, there's more. How did I get the nested repeat to flow so beautifully in the PDF? Because that shouldn't work. How did I get the total miles for the complete dirt road to populate automatically? Getting this to work was like taking that old blue and yellow Tupperware ball with all those shapes and taking a hammer to the circle and forcing it into the triangle. I had to take the original PDF and cut it into pieces so I could add the formulas for the nested repeat. So this client of mine had 3 years of data inside their survey that somebody else had created, and now they're trying to get it out into this FEMA report, but the survey wasn't built this way, so the FEMA reports are having trouble. A better flow for this client would have been to look at the reports first and then design the Survey123. When you do it this way, you have time to get everything perfect before you go into the field. If you're doing any kind of reporting and they have a PDF that they want you to submit, this is the workshop for you. Your Survey123 design is the foundation of all of your workflows. So building it right the first time will cost you less than building it twice next time. Now, how did I fix Frankenstein and what did it look like? We had 612 lines in the Survey123 schema. 76 were images, 76 were latitude of the image, longitude of the image, note for the image. They had 0 repeats, no trace function, which was a requirement on that form. They had 0 FEMA feature reports. They had 1 photo log that had 76 boxes. And then they had to manually go in and fix the SIR so that they can merge everything together. That's a lot of work. What did I give the client? I gave the client a new Survey123 with 207 lines. 12 were images, 12 were lat long, and notes for the images. It included 3 repeats, which one was a trace, one was the site inspection, and one was a nested repeat, that's what NR stands for the components on the site. They have 1 SIR, FEMA feature report, and they have a smart photo log. I did rework the previous survey and did get them the data they needed. It just wasn't as pretty as it could have been. What technology did I use? We used instant apps so that they could edit exactly what they needed to edit. And then they had an export option because each engineer was doing something different. So if I could give them their editable app, then they could go in, and I actually put all the tabs. So if an engineer was absent and they needed something, they could go into that engineer's tab and make their edits. It was beautiful. I also cross-trained the team to use GIS as a tool, so they aren't dependent on my services forever and ever.